and prioritize those engagements and actually start those fights themselves. So we have to see if Isurus Gaming can take it to Saigon Jokers here in their matchup. As we take a look at the picks and bans for champion select so far, Gragas and Lissandra are going to be banned out by Isurus Gaming. Trundle being taken away by Saigon Jokers so far. So they don't want Newbie or maybe Pride to pick up that champion.
And all of a sudden, like as we mentioned, Fish, the fact that double teleport is huge. Lissandra is becoming quite a meta pick right now in the IWCI tournament. Gragas is a great top laner and jungler if you want to hard engage. So Isurus Gaming get rid of both of them, and it looks like they might be trying to slow down the pace of the game.
They certainly might, as Saigon Jokers take away Kindred as well. So that's 2 junglers that have been taken away so far. We see Kindred picked up a lot, Nidalee, Graves. These are kind of the S-tier junglers in the current meta, with at least, you know, a little bit behind, with Gragas thrown in there a little bit. So we'll have to see if these junglers are contested even more, as Sivir is going to be banned out by Isurus Gaming here.
Yeah, banned out one more time on the blue side. So that is all hard engaged so far, targeted. One thing we have to mention, Fish, Warzone, your man, is starting in the mid lane. Gone is Levita. So a little bit of a substitution here.
That's right. Warzone, he's known as the mage or the control mage player coming in for the Saigon Jokers place. A wide variety of the current meta champions, but not too much on Assassins. Will play it if he has to. And he's known for having a pocket Lux pick, so we have to see if he decides to bring that one out here. As Echo is the final ban coming out from Saigon Jokers, taking away that pretty nasty top laner that we've seen recently.
Yeah, completely roleplayed it to great effect. We saw already that they're willing to first pick it in their game against Supermassive. I think that what this has shown so far is that Saigon Jokers, if Warzone is going to be that control mage as you spoke of, is more than happy to play the slow pace tempo. You know, you've just banned out all the hard engage. That's fantastic because we didn't want it anyway. We're just going to take this game late, go get some popcorn and maybe a drink, ladies and gentlemen, because we might be here for a while.
But speaking of hard engage, Alistar was picked up as the first pick from ISG. You know, a 1-2 punch gives Newbie a little bit more engaged, allows him to not get caught out a bit more, and also takes that champion away from Su.
Yeah, which is massive. I already talked about the fact that Su, if he is the primary engage tool, just only sets up good things for his squad. But power picks for Saigon Jokers right now.
Yep,
Maokai Graves being hovered.
Looking to pick up these 2 champions, 2 of the stronger current meta picks here. Maokai able to provide a lot of crowd control, stay very healthy in lane, bully out some matchups, even in Graves. Just one of the more dominant junglers right now.
Well, the reason it helps out so much with Graves is that Maokai provides all the CC that Graves needs to make the gank successful. So very good, I guess, follow-up damage that can come out of Graves, but also the proactive play can be started off by Maokai.
And that's interesting as well, because Nidalee not being opted to being picked up by either of these teams during the first rotation. We see that as a very common jungler that's first picked or banned against most of the teams coming in here. We have to see if Kratos is going to be picking it up here for Isurus Gaming as they're waiting to pick up their next 2 picks. You know, Graves already taken away, Maokai already taken away. They've shown their bot lane support here. It's possible they could try and show what they're going to pick up as their AD carry, try and deny Saigon Jokers from getting that Lucian, which we see so much picked up by these teams.
Support here for Su, whereas Celebrity is on Lucian, who is an out-and-out lane bully. So maybe would have expected him to go towards something like the Braum with Lucian, but it seems like they're more than content to try and deny some of the pick potential.
It also seems like Saigon Jokers are trying to hide their mid lane pick for Warzone, get him that little bit of a counter matchup. We see a lot from control mage players doing that when they're on the red side, but like we mentioned before, it is possible he could throw an assassin here or there. He's comfortable in those champions, just doesn't perform as well. As we look at ISG and see what they're going to be picking up during their final pick rotation. It seems like they're looking for a top laner and a mid laner, leaving their solo lanes last here. They know they're up against a Maokai, but they're not too sure what is going to be thrown at them from the mid lane coming in from Saigon Jokers. As Poppy, one of those picks that has been contended so far, and Azir is also going to be locked in here coming in from Isurus Gaming. 2 very strong meta picks and very strong picks to round out their team comp as well.
Yeah, you saw the hovering of Nah. Nah, Azir also has some popularity in some regions. Still, Nah, of course, seen as a counter pick to Maokai, but Poppy does completely fine in the matchup as well. Azir, however, has had a mixed bag so far, Fish. And if Warzone is a control mage player, I understand the pick, but if he has any assassins in his back pocket, like that one, this could be a tough matchup because Rek'Sai Azir does not put out the same damage, people are going to say obviously, as what a Graves LeBlanc would bring to a mid lane fight.
Yep. Saigon Jokers, known to have a 10-man roster before IWC, only decided to bring their mid laner with him for this tournament to swap between that aggressive.
Well, you can only have a 6-man roster, so that makes sense.
That's right. As they bring in their assassin and control mage players, but It seems to be Warzone wants to play this aggressive mid lane to try and lock down this Azir. They've got a couple of seconds left, but that should be the lock-in coming from Saigon Jokers. They're going to be playing LeBlanc into Azir against Isurus Gaming.
So the late game team composition out of Isurus Gaming is quite scary, to say the least. Like, multiple bounce up, good control around team fights, double displacements also available there out of both Azir as well as Poppy. However, this has all the chances of going pear-shaped one more time through a strong jungling performance of Jinky. We already mentioned the fact that Revolta was able to dominate Isurus Gaming earlier on in the day, and I just think that if Jinky can replicate some of what he was doing, you know, deep invades, bullying out Kratos in the jungle, like, there is just so much more rotation that is going to come out of Maokai and LeBlanc to shut that down.
For me, it really feels like this team composition coming in from Isurus Gaming is the best chance for them to pick up this game, because we saw earlier against Lion Gaming, they had to take the 56-minute game. Their team composition looks fantastic when it's that late into the game up against Saigon Jokers. It really feels like if they can clean up their early game a bit, they stand a decent chance here.
Yeah, they certainly do. Like, I agree with you. If it ever goes late and they have setup time, there is just so much damage that's going to come out of this. Like, AoE damage as well. You know, you have the Kalista, you have Azir late game, you have Poppy that's going to be flying in. You have so much CC. However, when you have a look at it, LeBlanc, bully lane, Lucian, bully lane, bully jungler in the grave. So there's just also the opportunity of it to go pear-shaped. So whilst you say, you know, if they get through the early game, there is a chance late game. Yeah, 100%. That's what happens when you pick any scaling composition. Question is always, can you get it there? And right now, there's lots of tools to deny that from Saigon Jokers.
And I think one of those tools is going to be a double teleport coming from Saigon Jokers. But I have to see if they decided to run it. Normally, you know, we see LeBlancs take the Ignite as the aggressive summoner spell.
So LPL actually plays a lot of teleport Zed and LeBlanc for exactly that. Because actually, they split push relatively well for Assassins, both Zed and LeBlanc. So if you're able to use that double teleport, you can set up 1-3-1s. It's going to drag another member, maybe Rek'Sai, potentially, because it has the global ultimate to be able to get back into the lanes, to be able to split open this map and try and deny some of the control that Azir brings it through his wave clear.
And I think it's you and Rusty that talk about this a lot. Azir don't normally pick up that teleport as we head into Summoner's Rift. We are going to see the two teams fan out here in the game between Isurus Gaming and Saigon Jokers. Just, you know, scouting for vision a little bit as we take a look at those summoner spells. No teleports from the mid laner. It is going to be Warzone picking up his Ignite. So looking to try and take the match to EMP right in the mid lane from the very start.
Yep, so we will see whether that Ignite does result in a kill. We've already seen this matchup once today. It didn't go well for the Azir player. But EMP, more than happy to throw down, you have to think. There's standard lanes potentially coming out, although Poppy's starting to recall.
So far, just a fan out, putting a couple of wards down, trying to spot out vision between the two teams. Saigon Jokers actually grouped up and clustered around this mid lane, trying to wait as long as possible before sending their AD carrying support to a lane. It seems like they want to go up into the top lane here. They dodged most of the wards so far, so Sue and Celebrity have been hidden here. We do have Alistar and Kalista down the bottom lane, so this should be a lane swap being initiated by Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, certainly is. Now they're spotted out, and automatically Isurus Gaming is going to back away from that side of the jungle. Instead, everyone just deep invades. Newbie and Zycro, as well as Celebrity and Suit, just going to take away the small sentinels for themselves, and a fairly normal early game start.
Certainly is, and Celebrity and Suit do the exact same thing on the reverse side of the map. We saw Jinky and Ro move away from the blue side of the jungle as soon as they saw that lane swap not being matched from the side of Isurus Gaming, so we'll be able to take away the red side of the map. This seemed like Celtas and Pride here were able to take away the Wolf camp to start off, so a small start for them to lead off in this jungle, but we have to see how this lane swap progresses here in the game. As Warzone, he's already hit level 2 and trying to zone EMP out right from the very start.
Yeah, nearly even zoning from experience, but EMP does grab that experience there, so will hit level 2 himself and should be able to put down some return hurt onto LeBlanc if he so chooses. And fast push is already kicked off here as Pride will join Zycro and Newbie into the bottom lane push, and have to wait and see how quickly the top laner joins here for Saigon Jokers.
We also have to see if the junglers are going to match this push coming in from both the Saigon Jokers and Isurus Gaming. It's now topside Celebrity and Sue. They haven't reached the turret just yet, but building up a nice wave for themselves. Maokai's already up there waiting to try and get some damage down onto this turret. Isurus Gaming, on the other hand, though, they've got some decent damage down onto this turret already.
Yeah, they're burning through, and they have the cannon being prioritized now, so you can see lots of damage going out. They're going to take it nice and early, but Warzone doesn't wait for the pop.
Doesn't get the second chance on the chains as EMP, you know, being aggressed on quite early, but he's showing they can go toe-to-toe against this LeBlanc so far, only losing a little bit of CS, still has a biscuit to help him out in that lane as well. But Graves, he's going to be wrapping around Jinky, will put down the smoke screen to deny some vision. Flash being popped here, but Warzone, he gets the chain down, the Ignite's going to go down as well, as the barrier might keep him alive, but that final auto attack will be enough, and LeBlanc picks up first blood.
And I said it in the pregame, sometimes just raw mechanical skill outplays, and that is exactly what Warzone did there. Heads up, make sure that he gets a flash. First blood one more time on a LeBlanc into an Azir matchup. We've seen it once already today, Fish. It does not get pretty from here.
It certainly doesn't, and this is something we talked about a lot during the pregame here. Isurus Gaming needed to clean up the early game a little bit. Saigon Jokers were able to do that coming into IWCI, and certainly that's a great start for them. You know, get the lane swap going, even and out with the turret trades, get a kill in the mid lane as well. We'll just have to see if they're going to continue pushing this advantage they've already created for themselves.
Especially because Isurus Gaming kind of had the tempo on the lane swap, right? They had the extra wave that they were going to be able to achieve because Saigon Jokers had pushed another one out. They start the push from a lot further back. They'd achieved like another 8 CS on their top laner. Everything looked like it was going pretty well, but just that gank into the mid lane from Jinky, who I called out as being important. Revolta's already done it once today, but picking on the mid laner of Isurus Gaming as well as the jungler seems to be a way of being able to hold him down.
And so far that's given...
And now Ro comes in. Oh, this is so bad.
If Ro can get a gank off here, it's not going to be a good game. A good day, sorry, coming in for EMP. He's waiting, actually, behind Fog of Wars. Jinky's here as well. Rose, they're going to flash with a Twisted Advance. Gets him as he's trying to go forward. Chain's going to land. Jinky trying to put some damage down, but the turret will be able to keep him alive, and Ro takes quite a few hits for that.
Yeah, it certainly does. Also burns the flash. No summoner spells burnt, as we see now. A big death squad roaming into the top side of the jungle. Potentially looking for Jinky, but he's on the right side of the map, recognizing the bottom lane is where he's stronger right now.
And this time it's actually going to be Saigon Jokers to get the jump onto the turret swap here. Sue and Celebrity already got a decent amount of damage, have a good wave for them pushing to be able to take down this turret. And Kalista was up alone up in that top lane. Yep. Still going to be able to match it efficiently though.
Yeah, so that's all it was. The support was down there hitting the turret. Now they bring an extra member here. So number 3, as Fish needs to get some water apparently as he coughs to death. But yeah, you know, this is good news for Saigon Jokers because now they've matched the tempo. They have a summoner spell down and a little bit of CS missing on Ro, but here's a Maokai and will remain a Maokai and do Maokai things. As actually, Isurus Gaming don't grab it, so a little bit of tempo lost here. Instead, they go for the Rift Herald.
Newbie and Claytos should be able to pick this one up.
Ro doesn't have flash, and he's gone into the top lane. There's 4 members on that side of the map.
Could be interesting as Sue now coming in for a gank on the mid lane. They're putting a lot of pressure onto EMP in this match so far. Everyone just wants a piece of him in this mid lane.
Yeah, can you blame him? You know, he's taken a control mage blind into what can be a LeBlanc. We've seen it already like punished once today. So I just like the fact that this is something that Saigon Jokers are willing to commit to. You know, even though Warzone is generally the control mage player, just continue to pick on this rise.
And Jinky, he's still moving into this mid lane. Azir going to have to try and dash out this one. Warzone will blink in, doesn't get the damage. All the chains coming down onto EMP. That might have almost certainly been a kill.
Yeah, exactly right. Jinky had enough follow-up damage there with the red smite as well as the longsword. So I agree with you. Probably would have been a kill. However, Ro finally able to get some form of CS. Warzone's a little bit low on mana, so it looks like Jinky going to stick around and help him shove that wave out.
Snoopy and Claytos, they're making their way in deep into the jungle of Saigon Jokers on the blue side, trying to get a wraparound on Celebrity here is immediately like backing it off. They will get it. Teleport being used onto the tunnels here. Celebrity will get flashed on by Claytos. Pride is here, gonna slam him into the wall. Isurus Gaming pull a kill back for themselves.
And all of a sudden, Claytos coming up absolutely huge because he got the flash unburrowed before Celebrity could use his flash. Little bit of an oversight, I think, there. Probably should have flashed immediately after the dash, and now with this Rift Herald buff, they're going to look to pressure in the turret, actually get the teleport out of Ro.
Force that summoner spell out of Saigon Jokers. They use the teleports really effectively when they have 2. This time with only 1, and that 1 being down might be difficult for them to control these objectives. As Isurus Gaming, they took the Rift Herald earlier, looking to try and take down the Dragon as well. They get it down to about half health. Saigon Jokers immediately collapse on that objective. I'm going to see if they can take it for themselves. A fight could potentially break out between these two teams. Jinky, he's here getting some decent damage down. Puts the smoke screen down to zone out Isurus Gaming, and that will go on over to Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of an overreach there for Isurus Gaming, trying to pick up a Dragon. But, you know, at least they're playing proactive League of Legends, which we like to see. Rose still hasn't hit level 6. Pride's level 4 as well, so these top laners being denied a lot of farm. The Celebrity back in this lane now, just trying to farm up to the best of his ability.
Still has the summoner spells available. Didn't decide to use those when he got ganked previously. He's picked up the cull as well, so going to be stacking a little bit of extra gold as he picks up those last hits, and he's freezing that wave down in the bottom lane. As we see EMP once again being jumped on by Warzone, this time training it back and almost going in his favor for the Azir.
Yeah, nice, efficient use of the Sand Soldiers there to be able to trade well. Unfortunately, Warzone didn't walk away far enough from the Sand Soldier, so he took the full brunt of the combo.
As we take a look at Pride now, the top laner for Isurus Gaming is going to be working on the Gromp camp, as Ro has a massive minion wave here, going to be pushing on out towards the base of Isurus Gaming. Going to be able to pick up whatever farm he can before heading back to base. He's got his Swifty boots now and the double Doran's ring to start him off early in this game as well. So now he's taking a bit of damage, goes for the double dash onto EMP, gets some good damage down to the Azir.
Yeah, EMP also took some damage on the back end of that one as well. Of course, 20% cooldown reduction already achieved means that there is a lot of potential for burst damage. As Sue and Newbie going to fight here.
Zero going to take a lot of damage from Celebrity, but Rek'Sai, he's on his way around the jungle of Saigon Jokers as they continue here. Might not be good for them, as already Celebrity incredibly low. Has to back off here as they spot out Kratos roaming inside the brush.
But Kratos can't go any further because all of a sudden, you know, Jinky's down here as well. He's level 7 to only the level 6.
And we can see Warzone wrapping around from the river. They decide to back off there, but Saigon Jokers almost turn around that gank.
Yeah, so looked like an aggressive play. Rose picked himself up some Swifty boots as Warzone, showing that he's still pretty proficient on this LeBlanc pickup. 15 CS in the lead, will go away and pick up his blue buff as well. Move towards Morellonomicon.
With that single kill and that small CS advantage they have in the mid lane, Saigon Jokers still maintain a slight gold lead from themselves. About 800 gold ahead of Isurus Gaming 10 minutes into this game. 2 turrets apiece, a dragon over to SAJ, a Rift-Held on over to Isurus Gaming. But it's still a relatively even game for now.
Yeah, it certainly looks to be that case. Zyker is trying to bait here.
He's waiting.
Quite hard.
Kratos is waiting in the brush. Celebrity going to be able to put that ward down. Newbie just pulverizes the ground in anger as Sue does get the slowdown to Kratos. They're going to continue this chase here with Jinky. Instead, just opting to try and push this as fast as possible. Azir actually rotating down.
Yeah, so all of a sudden they have to get the heck out of dodge because here comes a Fate's Call.
They're going to look for it. They are able to lock up Jinky. He's going to get pulverized twice. Eaten as well. Knocked back into the team. EMP going to come in. It's going to be the Calm Kench that keeps him alive. Collateral damage now coming out. Suddenly, Saigon Joker's looking to turn it around. But it will be the Frog that gets taken down by ISG.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Words are tough.
They certainly are. Don't worry, Fish. I think we all knew what you meant. Catfish killed in the end of the day.
He dies.
I think that Warzone went the long way there. Probably needed to go a little bit more of an aggressive route because everyone was grouped up and it looked like LeBlanc would have been able to clean house there over the top of the 2 powerful 80 carry ultimates, but wasn't to be. So Isurus Gaming, once again, pegged that gold back to about 200. And I like the proactive play one more time. We mentioned the fact that you can't let the early games get away from you. So what do? Just step it up a little bit.
And they're doing a very good job at that indeed. As we talked about this from the start of Champion Select as well. Newbie picking up the Alistar gives him a little bit more proactiveness. He's able to provide that initiation for his team like he was there with the Fates Call coming in from Zericho. We could potentially see more of this coming from the team. In fact, the only thing they were able to get, Saigon Drakes were able to get out of this was a little bit of damage onto that mid lane turret, but it's not much indeed. As IG now looking for a wraparound onto Ro here. Newbie and Zericho going to try and jump onto this Maokai. Good flash coming from Ro will get him back into safety, but once again, more proactiveness coming out from this ISG lineup.
Yeah, and we said that Newbie kind of had it dictated to him, but at the end of the day, it is going to be him stepping up this game on Alistar, and Alistar players everywhere just like smiling today because he seems to be one of the promising forces.
Today is the day of the cow, apparently. A lot of teams picking it up and getting a lot of victories with it as well. You have to give props to the 80 carry, Sue, giving them the support as EMP going to get jumped on, tries to dash in back towards Warzone, has to pop that barrier, Ignite's going to go down. Prayseeker will come out from the Rex side to try and find Warzone, but Jinky is there close by. Saigon Joker's able to force the summoner spells from EMP, but not quite pick up the kill.
Yeah, so EMP actually that dash forward saves his life because he did get the shield if he had tried to dash away because he had to use the Q already. It wouldn't have been far enough and the LeBlanc would have been able to follow. So, confusing play out of the Azir, but in the end, it is the right call as now
Ro's going to jump onto
trouble.
Zerico, but Jinky,
No,
he's there
not.
for the wraparound. Does get the ultimate up to try and soak up some of this damage. Lots of spears being put into Ro here, but Zerico really low, still gets the Ren. Collateral damage will be enough to pick up the kill, but Warzone, he should be able to double dash here onto the cow. Pops the ultimate, not going to be enough. The chains will lock him down. A double kill goes on over to Jinky.
Yeah, really nicely done there from Saigon Jokers to collapse, but Jinky probably should have ulted earlier. Like, to be completely honest, I don't even think that Ro should have died there. They held ultimates for so long. They had it both just initially popped at the start of that, would have been much better. Jinky also missed the end of the line to kick that one off, as now we have the culling coming out. Playtoss burns flash.
Going on to Celebrity to knock him up there. He's going to take a little bit of damage in return. The rest of the Saigon Jokers, though, were looking for EMP, so split focus coming out from the Vietnamese team.
Yeah, it certainly was. I don't know if Playtoss needed to flash there, but you know, it is what it is, and all of a sudden damage out of EMP onto Celebrity. Going to start bullying him around a little bit. First major item completed for the Kalista, but we have to mention there is a 30 CS advantage right now for Celebrity, even though 2 kills over to Zycro. I mean, there's a pretty good news story there for him.
As we see Rek'Sai trying to get a wraparound here with
Pride.
They've got him. They're going to slam him into the wall. He's got no mana to jump away anymore. This should be an easy pickup. As we see, whoa, Su able to eat away to LeBlanc. The hammer's going to be trying to put down here onto LeBlanc. EMP comes in, locks 2 members of SAJ down. The save suddenly is not the save Saigon Jokers were looking for, as they lose 2 members for saving Warzone.
Yeah, exactly right. And unfortunately, Jinky didn't have the ulti available or anything to be able to dash over a short wall. So in the end of the day, it is a fantastic collapse out of Isurus Gaming. And we mentioned that, you know, they have to be proactive. They have to help their jungler out. They need to look for these teleport plays. All those things seem to be a check, as well as EMP coming up massive with a couple of Azir ultis. So, good news so far. And Saigon Jokers, after a dominant performing against Supermassive, starting to look a little bit shaky. And time again, Fish, I'm going to say it today. The power rankings in the IWC, all over the shop, because I just have no idea who is going to win these games anymore.
We were having a discussion in the green room about this, and Julian just goes, or Pastry Time just goes, guys, stop having this discussion, wait a couple of days because we really don't know just yet. Yeah. It's just all over the place.
We have no idea. And, you know, we can try and, from previous responses and how teams won their finals, try and figure it out. But until these teams actually match head-to-head, you never really know.
But so far in this game, relatively even between these two teams in terms of the gold. It's 5-3 on the scoreboard, like you've mentioned. ISG, they've been very proactive here, showing that they've improved a lot of the mistakes they made both in their grand finals and also in the IWC so far. But it's still an even game, even though they have a turret advantage, a kill advantage here. It's still even against the Saigon Jokers, which, you know, if you're ISG and you're not that unhappy about that, you do have that scaling team composition, but it's certainly a scary factor that you can be this proactive but still be even against this team.
Yeah, completely agree. And, you know, once again, I'm just going to go towards this Kalista-Alistair combo because it seems to make you a lot more aggressive. As Zycro, you're dead.
He's going to spit out a tree here. Zycro just going to get jumped on by 3 members of Saigon Jokers. They find a pick for themselves.
Yeah, you know you're in trouble when Cane Toad starts spitting out trees.
Australia's a weird place.
As the old saying goes, Fish, you dig? What are you talking about, mate? You were born here.
Yeah, apparently. Didn't know that cane toads eat trees here and spit them out.
This skin is clearly not a cane toad.
It's a chef.
He's
a chef frog.
Yeah.
And Saigon Jokers with their chef are going to try to...
Sometimes I just don't know about you.
Eat this Rift Herald.
I feel like the feeling's mutual, though,
yes,
so you know.
the feeling is very mutual.
It's been a long day.
Can tell.
You're my 4th play-by-play, mate.
Yep, this is your 6th game. You've got another one after this spawn. Keep it
together.
together.
I'm running out of play-by-play casters as this game goes on, but...
We've got more, don't worry.
Thank goodness.
Where's Rusty when you need him, really? As Jinky's going to be taking down this Scuttle Crab on the bottom side of the map. Try and get some vision control for the Dragon, which should be up in about 3 minutes' time. Saigon Jokers have been able to take 2 so far. Looking for the 3rd possibly in this match. As we see Warzone jumping onto Pride there with the W already up. Going to get knocked back and take a little bit of damage. But not going to matter too much between these two teams. As SAJ still do have that slight gold lead. And with the Herald buff, we're looking to push mid with Celebrity. But so far, going to be a very quiet point in the match where these two teams just want to farm it up wherever farm is possible. Wait for the objectives to respawn. Wait for the power spikes on their players.
Yeah, it certainly looks to be that. I like Warzone kind of roaming around this map at the moment. He is putting out a lot of inherent pressure As you can see, now actually just putting out physical pressure as he disappears into Fog of War. And once again, Isurus's vision control wasn't good enough on the bottom side of the map. And they're going to use this Rift Herald buff to push into EMP. And he's not really too safe. Now they disappear into Fog of War one more time. They need to be careful top lane, because Ro can potentially engage here, as well as the Tahm Kench ulti.
Zerica and Newbie were trying to run away. SAJ, like you mentioned, disappearing to Fog of War, creating that pressure point, forces ISG to back off from that lane, losing farm on that side of the map. Pride, though, as we look down the bottom lane, has his teleport available. Ro does not have his at the moment, so he's going to be able to split push effectively down this bottom lane. As Warzone actually making his way down here, trying to get a jump onto the Poppy if he decides to push any further. Nope, just going to decide to farm up this wave. Zerica also moving his way towards this mid lane to farm up whatever he possibly can. We take a look at the items really quickly. Abyssal Scepter being picked up already by EMP, which is a little bit scary for me because Warzone was able to chunk him down half his health with just 2 spells there. That's through the Abyssal Scepter magic resistance.
Yeah, I don't think the matchup's ever really going to be all that good for Azir versus LeBlanc until the super late game. I mean, probably go towards Nash's Tooth and then the Rylai's Crystal Scepter afterwards, so we'll get a little bit more health and tankiness, but Warzone's always going to be that threat there. Person you have to really watch out for, though, is the Kalista, because, I mean, if he's chunking out his ear that hard, imagine what he's going to do when he hits a poor 80 carry with it. Throw a collateral damage over the top with some of that armor penetration. Bad news bears. However, hasn't come to really the team fighting stage right now, because both of these teams very content to just farm it up, and this is something we mentioned. You know, historically, their styles have been similar in the way that they're just not overly proactive around the map. We've seen, like, small signs of proactiveness, but no big fights around objectives and no real hard pushes down these lanes.
You know, Saigon Jokers really feel like they're out of their comfort zones here. No double teleport. They never got to capitalize on mistakes being made by ISG so far, and they're just not adapting to that, it feels. They're not able to suffocate ISG like they do to other teams when they're able to capitalize on mistakes. ISG really looking a lot different in this game.
Yeah, I agree, as EMP tries to go a little bit aggressive into Warzone this time.
Didn't work out so well for him. Takes a lot of damage.
Look, if he had his time again, I think that he would have chosen to play it a little bit differently. One thing I will point out, however, is Celebrity has once again gone for the static Shiv. This time around I don't mind it, however, because he is a pretty primary form of wave clear for the team.
Static Shiv will definitely help him out with just that. As EMP puts down a Sun Turret on Saigon Joker's side of the map, Jinky will eat a couple of Sand Soldiers damage here, but Ro, he's got a wraparound on this team as EMP going to jump in with Newbie. Face Call being used, ultimate going to be popped back to only throw Ro back. This is a poor engage coming from Isurus Gaming, and the Saigon Joker's going to capitalize on that. Warzone already picks up the first kill in the fight. Klaytos trying to wrap around as Jinky desperately trying to run away from the rest of the members of ISG. Saigon Joker's trying to get that wraparound. Jinky going to take a lot of damage. Exhaust being put down to him. Su will save him with the frog. Going to have to spit him back out eventually as he runs away from the fight. But Saigon Joker's trying to turn it around. Newbie, he will pop his ultimate to try and stay alive, but it's not going to be enough. He's the sacrificial lamb for his team, but they're not done yet. They're trying to wrap around for now. 3 members of ISG trying to run away from the rest of Saigon Joker's. Tahm Kench going to eat up a friend. Move around the back. Pride locks down Warzone. They might be able to take him down. They do get the mid laner, but in return, Kalista will eventually fall down. ISG now trying to run away. They pick up Jinky, but it's not going to be enough. SAJ looking for that final kill as Pride tried to run away, but the last auto attack for Lucian picks up the ace coming in for Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, fantastic play out of Saigon Jokers there. Celebrity a little bit late to the team fight, but able to clean up the back end so nicely. Really well played there, and you just see the persistent takiness of Maokai Tahm Kench come up absolutely huge. Rek'Sai not yet at that stage. Deadman Plate Sightstone, he's working towards it. Pride also more of a bruiser right now, but for raw tankiness, can't really get past Maokai, and you just saw that in the team fight.
And this has been a couple of skirmishes and fights in a row where Su's been able to come out on top and save someone on his team that desperately needs it, was able to jump on the Jinky, eat him up, and keep him alive for that second wraparound from the Saigon Jokers. He's been playing pretty well in this time, Kench, known to play more of those aggressive, engaged-like supports to be the right-hand man of his coach. This time out, able to show he can be the defensive man for the team.
Yeah, it certainly seemed to be that way. You know, the flash eat onto Jinky there, it certainly was pretty critical in the fight. As now, Dragon started up for the Saigon Jokers. It's going to be spotted out, so potentially another big team fight coming our way, Fish.
And it's Dragon number 3, so it could be one that I actually want to fight for before this gold league gets pulled even further apart. Currently, Saigon Jokers about 3,000 gold ahead after that team fight. EMP going Gonna try and put that down. Look at that. Gray's gonna pick it up. I thought he was on ISG for a second. Don't know what I'm saying. Jiggy secures the Dragon for his team. Third Dragon picked up for Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, so very nicely done. That would have been weird, you know, if he was on Isurus Gaming, because, you know, Grays was standing next to LeBlanc the whole time.
Not good.
They just weren't hitting each other. So, you know, easy mistake to make. What could I say?
Oh boy, Spawn firing shots at me when I'm not on the desk, when I'm on the desk as well. Just
hey, at least I'm
making sure
consistent. At least I'm consistent, mate.
Very consistent today. The only inconsistent thing about today is your multiple player play shoutcasters.
No, they've all been top notch. Shout out to the team. Jinky's still looking for some deep invades right now. Has been spotted out by Kledos. We'll see if he wants to fight him.
Gonna be able to dash away, but the rest of ISG here, EMP takes so much damage from that. Jinky though, gonna get taken down, gets slammed into the wall by Poppy, who pops the ultimate, knocks Tom Kench away. Warzone still trying to chase here, double dashes in, sees a Poppy, decides he doesn't want to be there anymore.
So
But Saigon Dragons losing
in
member.
the end, Jinky gets cleaned up, but wow, that damage that came out nearly killed EMP. It was just an end of the line as well as collateral damage, and boy oh boy is that a lot. But in the end, it is a 1-for-0 trade, and Isurus Gaming relieves some of the map. This Latin American side really starting to ramp up as this game goes on. You can see Nash's Tooth has been completed.
They sure have, and they still have a gold lead to fight against Saigon Jokers, but definitely looking so much stronger in this game so far, despite the deficits. Pride was almost jumped on by Warzone, will hit that second proc of the chains to lock down the Poppy for a little bit longer. Gonna try and take it to him. A Celebrity gonna dash in as well, looking to get some damage down on this Poppy. The second chains will miss. So, you know, 33% accuracy in Warzone, not enough to lock down the top laner of ISG.
Yeah, certainly seems to be the case. You know, you miss 100% of chains that you don't throw, though, so you can understand the idea. But this is, I'm not going to, like, they don't get outscaled or anything, but I'm just saying that, like, Saigon Jokers seem to want to push the tempo of the game, and right now Isurus Gaming are holding very, very firmly. This must feel good. Their jungler is starting to get super tanky. I mean, 4-1 and 3 now for Kletos.
He's got a Cinderhole picked up with the Dead Man's Plate as well. One of the few junglers that we still see pick up the tanky item for the jungler's choice. 4-1 and 3. Massive scoreline coming from Kletos so far on this rec side. Going to be a force to be reckoned with for the Saigon backline. They still have Su to keep them alive, and he does have the Aegis Lilies and reduce some magic damage coming out from the squad of ISG. But you have to think, this is a spot that ISG are very comfortable to be in, despite the fact they're about 3,000 gold behind Saigon Jokers because they're not being suffocated.
Ooh.
But what is this? Saigon Jokers being a little bit sneaky here, going around the back of Baron, trying to take that one down. Scuttle Crab just lost its vision there, so they don't know that Jinky wrapped around. No vision on this Baron as well. This is very, very sneaky. Lucian actually dashing over the wall. A little bit of mistake coming up for Celebrity, but they should be able to take this down. We'll have to see if ISG can collapse on them in time.
Here
Baron,
we go, they're
incredibly low. Kletos is there, but it's going to be Jinky that picks up the Baron. Teleports coming in from Poppy. Kletos already taking so much damage. Pride, he's into the back line. Warsign, though, gets solo killed by EMP out at the back line. Now it's a 4-on-5 for ISG, looking to fight the Baron up. SAJ. Celebrity gonna get locked against the wall. A double kill coming in for EMP, looking for Jinky as well. Not gonna quite get it, but Su falls out as well. Only 2 members from Saigon Jokers stay alive.
Yeah, but it's still probably worthwhile. A 3-kill trade for Baron. It depends what they get afterwards, especially because the Maokai is one of the members that has it. So we'll see whether anything happens here. Looking for a push in the mid lane. Crucial in that team fight was the fact that EMP was able to solo out Warzone. Finally gets the trade. We said it would. Oh, that's big.
Jinky gonna get slammed into the turret and knocked up by Newbie as well. ISG pick up the 4th prolonged kill in that fight. They should be able to take down the mid lane in a turret as well.
Now it's worthwhile.
Definitely worth.
Yep, able to get a lot of pressure throughout the map, and that was greedy from Jinky. Didn't have a flash, didn't have an ultimate. No way he can escape from that, so he gets punished. So, heads up play out of Isurus Gaming. They are back within nearly 800 gold. Kletos has been spotted out, however. Oh, Su misses. Spit a wolf at him, mate. No, doesn't want to.
Doesn't want to quite eat that one as the only member of Saigon Jokers left alive.
Actually going to be a death cap picked up here for EMP.
Wow. Lots of damage from the Azir if he's going to get that one picked up. We'll have to see if he decides to complete that one. We see a lot of people throw me off when I decide to call out the build they're making next, but should be that death cap for EMP. He's caught up in CS quite nicely. He's now 30 CS ahead of Warzone. So, completely flipped the table, gone a 180 in this mid lane. And you know, Azir, he scales quite nicely into the late game. EMP's going to be very happy with where he is at now. And I think Isurus Gaming, they have to be very happy with where they are at right now.
Yeah, of course they are, you know. back up, and they've got a good team fighting composition. We said that, you know, Warzone might fall off a little bit late game. It seems that we're getting there quicker than he would have liked because there is a lot of magic resistance. Oh, Jinky, one more time. You can't just walk through EMP anymore, mate. It's not going to work that way.
Saigon Jokers are still looking to siege for this mid lane in a Taurus. EMP takes half his health and damage coming in from Warzone.
Warzone really needs that Void Staff. As soon as he gets a Void Staff, you feel like they have the roll of the dice. You know, it will be around Dragon number 5. Number 4 will be important here. They have chunked out the Azir, so we'll see if they're able to pick that one up for free. As 2 members are going back, 24 seconds. A little bit with home guards. They'll be able to get there in time, but it'll be cutting it close.
Ro does have his teleport as well. He's got his Sunfire Cape, Frozen Heart, and the Spectre's Cull as well, looking for the Spirit Visage as soon as possible. Dragon is up in 10 seconds. Saigon Jokers do have vision control over the pit for now, but I believe the Scuttle Crab went in favor of ISG, so they have vision and movement speed over that area. And in fact, they're going to try and take it back.
They're going to go early.
Going to come out. Su's going to lock up Jinky with his time catch to try and keep him alive a little bit longer. But
where's
Jinky
the teleport?
Immediately gets knocked back into the team teleport. Only now being channeled by the Maokai. Suddenly, Saigon Jokers, they've lost their jungler. Su also getting taken down incredibly low. One more auto attack is enough. Pride should be able to put the hammer down. Takes him down. Looking for Jinky next.
Got the knock-up.
Locks him up with the ultimate as EMP comes back in. But Celebrity will be able to dash away. Saigon Jokers still lose 2 members.
Yeah, 2 members dead all of a sudden. Baron wide open for Isurus Gaming's first one. They're back within touching distance. Gold no longer relevant. It's all about the composition, and right now it seems that Isurus Gaming more than willing to pull the pin on that. Ro not good enough on the teleport, unfortunately. Did not go early enough. He is the big tanky member. Jinky cannot afford to keep dying like this. 5 times in this game he has been caught out of position and deleted from the map. And blue side, or something, like I don't know what's in the water at the moment, but Latin America South starting to make their push.
Seems like everyone on blue side had their wheat picks this morning to help them out with their games. Latin America South here.
They'll go to 2-2. They're a real contender to start pushing into those playoff spots. So many people there.
And you know, with this game, it really feels like Isurus Gaming fixed a lot of the mistakes coming into IWCI. They still made a couple against Saigon Jokers very early on.
They still fell behind. They've been willing to been able to claw back a little bit better, but I think the fact that they fell behind is still a concern. It's just that, you know, we call it the bathroom window, but Saigon Jokers just didn't close the door firmly enough.
They certainly have it, and you know, that's an uncomfortable spot for them to be in. They always like to have the advantage early, capitalizing on opposition's mistakes. They don't want to go into the late game brawl between other teams. They're even on gold against Isurus Gaming. It is approaching that late game. This is not a comfortable spot for them.
Not a Void Staff picked up for Warzone. He's actually going towards Abyssal, and don't like the pickup at all. There is just so much MR now being accumulated. Deathcap picked up for EMP. He is huge on Azir right now. 43 CS in the lead. 2-8 as well. And you feel that with all that AP, not going to be getting many more assists.
Looking across the items from all the players here, we see Kalista already picked up 3 of her major items. The more of Mortius being picked up as her defensive item, giving a lot of damage and also protection from Warzone slightly. The flip side, Celebrity does have his Infinity Edge and the Last Whisper picked up, so he's going to pack a punch in these fights. Zeriko, look at him. He's in the top lane, pushing out this wave as much as possible. No teleports from Saigon Jokers to help them out. They actually split as well. 2 in the mid lane, 3 in the bottom lane, trying to push out wherever they can. The rest of Isurus Gaming grouped up towards the red side of their jungle at the bottom side of the map. But they're still losing a small amount of their gold lead here. They were able to catch up. They were dead even. Saigon Jokers able to pull back about 1,000 gold for themselves so far. So it's still a dead even game between these 2 teams.
Yeah, it certainly is. Gold really doesn't mean all that much now. It's about how these teams are working on their objectives. Looks like they want to catch out Pride. Don't know if you can, guys.
They're going to look for a Pride, actually trying to run away here. He's going to pop the ultimate, only going to be able to knock back somebody, but Jinky now, he's not going to be able to stop this teleport coming from Pride. Will be able to use it to get away, but still a big summoner spell being burnt.
Yeah, it certainly is. So in the end, able to get the heck out of dodge there. They're now making a rotation into the top lane to see if they're able to pick up a turret for themselves. Lucian heading up there. We'll see if the collapse is coming out from everyone else. Good vision control out of Isurus Gaming to be able to secure this objective.
Jinky's actually still down in the bottom lane as well. He's the jungler for the team, so no teleport to get him up here. This should be the tower falling in favor of ISG as they tank that one up. Use the Locket of Iron Solari to mitigate some of the damage. Warzone comes in, puts down a Q, but it's only going to be able to poke Imp out a little bit. And Zerko actually has to flash away. Celebrity gets a crit. This actually might start a team fight for the Saigon Jokers. Sue and Ro looking to try and collapse onto the members running away. He's not going to be able to use it quite yet. Can instead just sweep out the vision here and try to push them back. Baron has respawned. It could be a point of contention between these two teams. Ping's actually going down onto it.
Yeah, of course, because they chunked out the AD carry. They feel nice and safe to potentially go for this one.
They're doing the same thing again. Saigon Jokers. This is why they picked the Tom Kench apparently. They're looking for those sneaky Barons. The rest of ISG now trying to collapse onto the side. Ro flashing it immediately on towards the Azir. He's actually going to flash himself and use the ultimate. Warzone going deep, but Celebrity, he picks up the kill onto Azir first up. Suddenly, ISG are falling down as Kratos takes so much damage from this Lucian. Pride just can't quite stick to it. Warzone is still alive. Finally slamming Celebrity into the wall. He's still alive. Dashes backwards. Pride finally takes him down. The rest of Saigon Jokers are able to clean up ISG's lineup. Only Newbie and Pride left alive. The Alistar is trying to run away, but Twisted Advantage should be enough to lock him down in just a second. Poppy is there to try and help him out. Not going to be enough. He actually gets slowed down by Jinky, the only damage deal left alive. They pick up 4 kills in that team fight.
Yeah, absolutely massive team fight coming out from both lineups. It's 4-2 in the kills. So really nicely done there for Saigon Jokers, but they don't really gain all that much off it, honestly. Lanes will be reset deep into Isurus Gaming's lineup now because they're all on Saigon Joker's side of the map. So honestly, whilst the team fight looks impressive there, and it is good signs that they're able to delete out EMP, they don't really get all that much because they weren't able to prepare the lanes beforehand. Not enough damage to do the Baron. So everything just resets.
And you know, huge prop to Isurus Gaming as well. It seems like Saigon Jokers, they picked up this Tom Kench, which felt a little bit weird from Sue. He likes to be playing those aggressive supports to execute the strategies that the coaches have implemented. But it seems like he's doing the same thing on this frog here. Looks like one of those strategies to pick up these sneaky Barons. Worked out once for Saigon Jokers, but then they lost all their members. Second time round, Isurus Gaming lost a lot of people, but they still stopped that Baron, which is a crucial part from the team. So they're adapting to the tricks that Saigon Jokers are throwing them quite nicely in this match.
Saigon Jokers just got too cute there. They should have used the Tahm Kench ulti to engage, not to go into a Baron fight, because of course with Azir there, it's just going to be able to win out, you know, with the Kalista as well. So much AoE damage. So not really digging the Saigon Jokers tricksy plays here, but you know, they got one Baron for it. Maybe they'll get another one. Still like Isurus Gaming's team comp the later this game goes. And really hurting Warzone that he does not have a Void Staff right now. Going to question the pickup one more time as they're looking to make the play into bottom lane.
Sue going to try and jump here onto Zeratos. Takes a lot of damage from Jinky. Jinky is able to take him down eventually as now Kratos, he's going to take a lot of damage in return. Ro is here as well. Does have the home guard to help him out. But where's the AD carry? Celebrity, he's nowhere in this team fight. Still trying to group up. Newbie has to pop his ultimate to try and stay alive. As Pride gets a nice slam into the wall onto Jinky. Does get eaten up by Sue. Another clutch saving support coming out from Sue here. As Celebrity pops the ultimate. Will be able to take down Newbie. That's 3 members gone from ISG, and this should be Dragon going on over to Saigon Jokers.
It should be a heck of a lot more than just Dragon. It should be the Baron buff as well. No way that ISG can fight this anymore. And what a team fight. Just a heads-up play out of Sue, getting a catch onto Zycro. You know, we always talk about it, but Graves' burst damage. Jinky has turned this game around. He was at 1.25, now back to 4.5, starting to get a little bit more proactive around the map. And wow, even though they were able to pull it back once, it looks like it's going to be dangerous here for Isurus Game. Whoa.
Wow, that's a lot of damage onto Celebrity. And EMP, just like that, was able to deter them from taking down this Baron.
Okay, that was a horrible mistake out of Saigon Jokers. Rose should have been the one tanking it. Celebrity should be solely the person behind Baron Pit being able to do it. Instead, now they're going to start it up. They burn the teleport as well. EMP does this very quickly, but it's been chunked out. Another mistake. Zycro also going to be chunked out here a little bit.
EMP lost so much help here. Still, ISG looking to try and take down this Baron. The rest of SAJ did recall, trying to come back out with the home guard.
The team fight's going to happen, though.
Sue is going to get in here. Jinky is here to try and contest the smite as well. Baron so low. It will go on over to ISG, though. Now Jinky being locked down against the wall. Pops his Maw. Pops his Gauntlet as well, trying to stay alive. They've been able to take down the AD carry on the side of ISG, though. Warzone trying to dash out of this fight, but Celebrity, he's been left untouched. He's 8-3-2. This Lucian is absolutely massive as he picks up 2 kills in this fight already, and they're just looking for more. Chasing down Imp as well. EMP will eventually potentially fall down. That's 4 members of ISG gone as soon as they take that Baron.
And one more time, a team gets Baron buff, but 4 members go down. But this time around, it is 37 minutes into the game, so you feel like Saigon Jokers can get all of that much more for it. Really nice heads-up play. They are pushing into a Baron buff, but with double AD carry should not mean too much. Ro can tank up this turret for days, and it's only the jungler left out of Isurus Gaming, and you feel like that might be one too many team fight loss, although they're backing away. So safe right now, Saigon Jokers. Somewhere Bangkok Titans are groaning, but all the members have respawned, so you know, better safe than sorry.
They are 5,000 gold ahead of ISG right now, playing that slow and steady pace.
Oh, Void Staff's being picked up. Balance is restored.
Finally got it. Finally got the item to help him out and keep his team's hopes alive here. This has been a back and forth game between Isurus Gaming and Saigon Jokers. And it all comes back down to this Baron. It seems like whoever picks up the purple worm loses for the next 5 minutes of the match.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
You know, blue side buff, Baron curse, apparently. But for now, ISG looking to try and make a push of their own. They do have that Baron buff on Kratos, like you mentioned, so going to be able to keep the waves pushing slightly or stop some of the aggression coming from Saigon Jokers. But still, this is 4 dragons for Saigon Jokers. They just have to wait about 4 more minutes until number 5 spawns, and they could potentially force a fight against ISG.
Yeah, potentially, and you know, Lifesteal finally picked up for Celebrity, so 9-3-3 is much more safe in the backline of these fights. He goes a very aggressive Lucian build and tries to Wrath pot up. Don't know if I really like it all that much, but has been effective in his game, so will not question further.
He's been great in the team fight so far. There was one where he was missing for the fight, one where he outplayed tremendously to stay alive so long. That last fight was a concern for me because he was left untouched. He was just hitting whoever he wanted.
No health, so like that was a 4v5 from the start of it, and when you're Azir, your big late game carry is not available. LeBlanc actually Warzone on the other side of the map, and it looks like they want to go.
They're looking for it. Ro has already initiated on this fight. The rest of Saigon Jokers trying to group up. Warzone, like you mentioned, not there though. So ISG looking to try and fight back, but Azir, he's not in this fight either. Zerko taking so much damage, but he's jumping aggressively forward. They take down Celebrity. The AD carry is gone. Still see Kalista trying to jump around and stay alive here. The lifesteal helping her out. She's still in this fight as Sue. Going to be able to eat up the AD carry, but still it's not going to be a fight that Saigon Jokers would want to take here as they lose 2 members.
Yeah, and all of a sudden that Baron buff on Kratos that they left over is all that more important because 2 kills mean that they're going to be able to shred through these structures. Finally it runs out. Where's the wave clear going to come from? It has to be Warzone throwing his body in there, and that's dangerous.
Teleport actually being used by Ruhi onto the inhibitor turret gets cancelled. That was questionable coming out from Saigon Jokers, as they are going to lose a little bit of their base here.
There's still 20 seconds. They might lose the game.
Yep, Isurus Gaming looking to try and push on for the win here. EMP takes a lot of damage coming from Warzone. Kratos trying to chase him down. The rest of ISG clearing out as many minions as possible to have a small wave. Pushing on towards this turret. About 10 seconds left until Celebrity comes back up. SAJ would possibly look for another engage here.
Yeah, wouldn't they love a teleport on their Maokai right now? Because as you can see, pushing into a lot of wards. All their members have respawned, but not going to be available. So in the end, it is going to be Isurus Gaming backing away quite successfully.
You know one thing though, Spawn, top lane, a big wave coming in against ISG's turret, and Dragon does just spawn at about a minute here.
Yeah, nah, not going to matter. Player's going to be able to clear that one out and get it pushing back in the other direction. Right now, they're looking for a gank onto the Poppy. Burns ultimate, so Pride, nice heads-up play there. Gets rid of the Maokai. And honestly, right now, this is going to be a one-fight team fight. Merc Scimitar has been picked up by Celebrity, but Zycro was caught out in that game, that last engage. Ro and Sue were on him the entirety of the time, but they just weren't able to kill him, and Zycro was just dashing forward, you know, with this pseudo-tanky build.
And it really feels like right now, Saigon Jokers, they have that item advantage still. They're still about 3,000 gold ahead, which means almost nothing about 45 minutes into this game. But Ro, he has 6 items on this Maokai. He is a tanky monster, 3-1-14. Jinky already picked up most of his items, just waiting to complete the last Whisper, even got the Iron Elixir to keep himself alive. Warzone missing 1, and so is Celebrity, but I know Celebrity's got all 6 items as well.
Yeah.
So they're looking strong. They're looking to try and fight for this dragon that comes up in about 4 seconds here. Jinky going to get locked down by Kratos. Has to flash away immediately. Zerko getting so many spears into Ro here. He's been locked up. Warzone going into the back lines, but EMP just auto-attacks him to death. Saigon Jokers lose their mid laner. Pride takes so much damage, and so is Kratos. They're able to take down the front line coming from ISG as Sue pops his shield, gets the grey health back. EMP still looking for it.
No.
Does get the soldiers down, but just one more auto attack would have been enough. Good flash coming from Sue. He lives about 50 health there. but ISG still repel Saigon Jokers away from this dragon.
Yeah, they certainly do. And one more time, Ro does not have teleport there. Great flank out of Pride, who lived by the skin of his teeth. Really nicely executed one more time, and it is a jungler for a mid laner going down. Warzone's positioning has been questionable in the last couple of engages. He was top lane for the first one that they lost, and this time around was absolutely nowhere near. They're still going for the play, however.
They're looking for it. Su going to jump in here with Jinky. Zeriko going to take so much damage, but Jinky gets so many spears into it. Su actually has to save his jungler by eating him up. The spears wouldn't be able to take him now. Zeriko able to turn around that fight.
Yeah, they're just 1v2 outplay, and Jinky's like, well, that wasn't what I wanted, so I'll back away. Your point has been proven. Probably needs a mortal reminder on one of their members, because right now, just healing through everything is the Kalista.
You can see the rest of the lineup as well. They got Alistar to give that little bit of AoE heal as well. 2 Spirit Rivers SAJs on the side of ISG. They're going to be able to heal so much in these fights. Natural regeneration and also from the Kalista as well. Picking up a 2 lifesteal items so far. Could possibly go for the 3rd in the Bloodthirster with her final item. We'll have to see what Zeriko picks up here. But a big factor for ISG here was they denied Dragon number 5 from Saigon Jokers. It gives them about 6 minutes to reset the map and see what they can try and pick up next. Baron spawns at about 15 seconds. Well, could possibly be a point of contention between these 2 teams as well.
The biggest thing here is that they have a 6-item Azir. Like, he is absolutely monstrous EMP. Warzone still has a complete item slot to be able to fill out.
And every single fight so far, Warzone just jumps in.
Yeah, he's irrelevant at the moment. He's just diving into the back line and getting absolutely nothing done, because Kalista surprisingly tanky. As we mentioned, double lifesteal out of more of Malmortius. They synergize so well together because of the shield, low health, you get more AD, you get more lifesteal. What a build. Like, you have a look at EMP right now. He's just got everything you need. Utility, damage. He's already got the penetration as well. Very tanky jungler who has a Sightstone, so they always have vision. Right now, Isurus Gaming's composition is just better than what the Saigon Jokers have.
And it's certainly coming online. They're looking to try and pull it to that late game, like they did against Lion Game in the 56-minute win. It looks like where they're comfortable. Jinky here going to be able to pick up a turret for himself, and Claytos takes a lot of damage.
Here
but
we
here
go.
Comes the Fates call. Zeriko going to throw Newbie in, has to flash forward, knocks back Su, but Jinky gets knocked out immediately. Here comes Ro. Poppy going to learn on the ultimate, but only hits the frog. Ro immediately dashes out of that, but ISG still looking really healthy as Jinky has to use his ultimate to get out of there. Minions pushing on the bottom side of Saigon Joker's base. This could be barren for ISG.
Yeah, it certainly could be, but Rose still has teleport as well as the ability to go back and clear that one out, so probably not going to be the case. They can start it up and try and bait the 4v5. Looking for some face checks here. Inhibitor also respawns. That's clutch timing. Good job, Inhibitor.
Inhibitor MVP for Saigon Jokers so far. Su was relatively healthy, able to heal out a lot here as Warzone jumps in and gets a lot of chip damage down to Claytos and gets the heck out of there as Innis Pride pops down the W. But for now, it's still in Saigon Jokers' favor. They have about a 6,000 gold lead, but team composition-wise, it seems like they just can't fight ISG in a head-on 5-5 anymore.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, that was a huge mistake coming out of the Isurus Gaming lineup, because they just overextended onto a poor target. They went onto Tahm Kench, which you never really want to do. So I think that as long as they clean up their target prioritization, I mean, as long as they catch Jinky or Celebrity, honestly, this game's going to be very difficult to come back for if you're the Saigon Jokers.
Big thing for me is major objectives are going to respawn in about 5 minutes. Dragon number 5 will be back up. Newbie blew his flash in that fight for a poor engagement. Not going to be able to have that to use with the Fates call anymore. It might affect this next team fight.
Yeah, you know, potentially. He's going to be out for Dragon number 5, but won't be up if they do kick off Baron or something soon. The other thing is Maokai can just sit in base right now and just wait for the home guys. He doesn't really need any items. They're going to actually look to start this one up.
They already have. Spears being put into the Baron already, so that's going to be able to take it down incredibly quick. But SAJ, they don't want this to happen. Newbie getting engaged on by Ro. A little bit of a questionable target coming in from the Maokai, who's going to get locked down. So many spears into this tree. As soon as they pull it out, might hurt him so much, but Su able to keep him alive for now. Pride jumping into backlines on the Lucian. Jinky's here to help him as well. Pride actually going to get taken down, but so is Warzone. This is a 4-on-4. Claytos now is going to be able to take down Lucian. He's gone down, and now suddenly Saigon Jokers have no carries. They have to retreat. EMP going to get flashed on by Jinky. Has to flash away himself as Ro. He's trying to save a life, but it's not going to be enough. Isurus Gaming, they take down 3. This could be game for the Latin American South lineup.
Yeah, it certainly looks to be the case. Only Pride falls down. So much damage still left available. They can push into the base or they can wait for mid lane. Also, the jungler will be able to rejoin through one of the tunnels. And Isurus Gaming, we said it, they love to go late game. 56 minutes, now 47 minutes. And it looks like they're going to win the second game of IWCI.
Only Jinky left alive, and he's going to get collapsed on by all 4 members of Isurus Gaming. And delayed ace will come out for Azir. And Isurus Gaming put on a phenomenal performance here against the Saigon Jokers and are able to take them down in this matchup, bringing them 2-2.
Yeah, exactly right. Saigon Jokers finally dropped their first game. They will go down to 2-1. And that is worrying signs for the teams. You know, using their substitute mid laner, said he's more known for his control mages, was not all that impressive on LeBlanc, at least late game, when decision-making makes all the more sense. And Isurus Gaming just took them late and beat them with experience. That's what we expect out of this team.
And you know what, Saigon Jokers, it felt like they had a strategy to try and pull here with that Tahm Kench, which is to cheekily go over to Baron. That never worked for them.
All right, I'm going to let you know. If that is your strategy, it's a really crap strategy. If your strategy is literally, we are going to sneak Baron, it's just not going to work out for you in the long run. So, you know, you have to appreciate the gusto, but I think Tahm Kench did a little bit more in that game. He was able to save priority targets, but didn't make all that much sense. They weren't able to get the re-engages with the ulti. It didn't look like something they were overly practiced with there. And the LeBlanc also didn't look like something that Warzone was comfortable playing, at least towards the latter stages of the game.
And you know what? The thing that really confirmed that for me kind of was the fact that they threw so many resources into this mid lane. They threw the jungler there. They got the top lane there very early as well. Ro blew a flash very early on. Jiggy made so many return trips, but they only picked up that first kill in the mid lane, and then Isurus Gaming were just able to hold out.
Yeah, well, the one thing was, I actually think that their return trips into the mid lane were the right call. I also think they executed quite well on them. When you look at this game, you'll think that how many times they fought before Dragon number 5 and were able to be shoved off that objective. Just fight over the objective, because what happens then, the jungler has to dive into your team. You're able to clean them up, start off uneven team fight. So I think it was literally decision-making. Like, I'm going to say that Saigon Joker's decision-making and execution was poor to the late stages of that game. And Isurus Gaming, like, they were like, wow, all of a sudden, this isn't so hard. This is like playing in Latin American South. Like, we are used to 50-minute games. We're going to beat them because we have Azir, we have Kalista, we have, like, Alistar, Poppy, just so many power picks in that lineup.
They certainly did have that, and you know what, it felt almost like, you know, Isurus Gaming, they cleaned up a little bit of their early game, but they still made a lot of these mistakes. Do you think teams are going to be able to punish them in the future games for that?
In a word, yes. Like, you can't fall that far behind. You can't give up, like, 3 opportunities at 5th Dragon. You can't give up a Baron. Better teams will beat you. Saigon Jokers, however, first fumble of the tournament, really, in that regard, because we would expect Saigon Jokers, at least, to be one of these teams to capitalize on those mistakes, to be able to pick themselves up a 5th Dragon, to be able to punish with a Baron buff, but that wasn't the case with this team comp. Once again, going back to Celebrity's build, he's a freak show of a good Lucian, but not getting lifesteal early in the game means that they can't really brawl with their Lucian. That's what Lucian wants to be all about. Get an early Merc Scimitar and get in amongst it, but, you know, it was just, in the end, they got outscaled. Like, when you pick a team comp that has LeBlanc, has Lucian, you're looking for your team fights around the 25-30 minute mark. You're not looking for a 50-minute team fight where Azir can, like, 3-shot everyone at the same time.
And that's exactly what happened in that game for Isurus Gaming. They were able to just pull it out, delay the game as much as possible, and it really feels like, you know, like I said, like you've been harping on this entire tournament, I didn't think Saigon Jokers were going to be doing well in this tournament. This was kind of one of the games which they played in GPL, in the VCS as well, which kind of made me feel that way. They made a lot of executional mistakes, even though they had a goal lead for themselves and just not able to play to their win conditions. It feels like that was one of their first poor showings here in IWCI.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that maybe it has a little bit to do with Warzone over Levita. I don't actually know what's going on there, but it just looks like the decision-making wasn't the same, and maybe Sue also not being on an engaged support had an effect on them. But Isurus, you have to give credit where credit's due. We're just able to play finally that aggressive style of League of Legends that we've been seeing so successfully at the IWC tournament. Kalista, Alistar just coming up massive. Blue side coming up massive. I don't know what it is today, but that's, what, 6 blue side victories, 4 Kalista, Alistar games? That's huge.
Well, we'll have to see if the blue side buff remains strong here in the International Wildcard, or Kalista Alistar is going to be enough. But congratulations to Isurus Gaming. We're going to go for a short break, but we'll be back shortly with the last game of today. Don't go anywhere.